Carpesus when hunting up in North Texas. And I'm hunting in the same place, I believe, where I shot my last hog on the last hunt. I've got a deer out in the woods, off in the distance, and I've got a hog across the creek under a pecan tree, and I'm within about 100 yards of where I shot the last hog. Now here I've moved up. I'm trying to find a good viewing port through all the brush that lines the creek, and I've got a tree between the hog and myself. The wind isn't a problem, but the foliage is, so I'm going to move over a little bit and try to get the sticks re-stabilized. And I'm set up with a big branch in the way, so I'm going to move again. And I don't want a shoulder shot on this hog. I don't want the hog to run, so I'd prefer a brain shot with my TX15 multipurpose carbine enhanced and 6.5 Grendel with a silencer Co-Omega, shooting Hornady SST 123 grain bullets loaded by Druid Hill Armory into Starline Brass. Alright, the hog's in position. Here we go. Quick scan, nothing off to the side. The hog's still upright, considering a second shot. And as I reposition, the hog gets rolled over. And it is done.
Brass Catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
The hog was a boar coming in at 170 pounds. While getting photographs, did some scanning, spied this hog in the distance, followed this hog across the property. It appears to be limping. But I never got close enough to make a shot, and it made it into the far woods before I ever was in range. Moving on to the next property, I've been in place for about 15 minutes looking at this herd of cattle. And finally I'm able to spot the hog that was in the herd of cattle. It's moved off to the side. And I will say here that
200 yards in advance.
Now I know this hog is at least 200 yards away because I've worked out a rudimentary steadiometric rangefinder such that on this level of magnification, I noted that if the adult hog is smaller than one of the horizontal arms of the reticle, that the hog is going to be at least 200 yards away. This hog looks to be about the same size or a little bit smaller, and later I was able to determine that the hog was actually 220 yards away, so advancing was probably a good option at this point. So here I've moved up quite a bit, probably about 50 yards or so, and I don't think I'm quite steady enough to get a good bead on this hog. I zoom back out, check the status of the cattle. Nothing's moving, which is terrific. So I'm going to move up a little bit closer. And now the hog is nicely broadside, and I'm going to shoot it through the shoulder at 145 yards. The flash in front of the lens is my hand checking to see that the recorder is recording. And fortunately I had not forgotten to record. I thought maybe I had. And I sped up the video here 5 times just to get to the point where I zoom back out again. And all the livestock are just fine. Here's that spot the hog was working in the hayfield. And the hog itself came in, again, at 170 pounds, and it did it for the night. Carpe sus, my friends.